Hello and welcome to the longer introduction to our integration for Excel, Microsoft Excel for Maximizer CRM. So this integration allows you to very rapidly adapt templates that you already have in Excel for things like quotations, returns notices, calculations of any kind related to a customer, to merge in details from Maximizer using Maximizer Web Edition, and to update Maximizer with values from the workbook, save copies of the workbook back to Maximizer. In this example we're going to look at creating a quotation for Ainsley wine merchants who are in the Ascona tutorial database that you all have on your Maximizer systems. So here is Excel, and the first thing we need to do when we start using this integration is to provide a little bit of authentication information. In this case we're using a cloud server. We're going to log on as J Napoli and we can just verify the credentials are correct. We won't need to do that again until the password's changed for Maximizer. All the details are held securely encrypted locally on your computer. So generally what will happen is you'll have a template you've already prepared. We'll just create it from one of my templates. You can use Excel 2007, 2010 or 2013, and here we have three different templates that we've prepared: the quotation template, a RMA, and a funding assessment. So we'll use this Ascona quotation. Really the way the quotation appears is entirely up to how you use Excel. The only thing is that if you would like the integration to count the part numbers for you to return quantity information to Maximizer, then your quotation layout needs to go down the page. But apart from that, most things you can lay it out however you like. In this quotation you can see that we already have some merge fields that have been placed in the template, and there will be some settings that we've inherited with this copy of the template that tell us how the template is to operate. We'll have a little look at them, but we'll go through those properly in another session when we'll be looking at creating templates. This workbook also has a page that you might normally hide that lists all the products and tells us which fields might be used in Maximizer to record the count of how many of that product have been sold. So in the settings for this workbook, it tells us that this workbook works with opportunities. It can work with address book records, opportunities, or cases. So if you were doing an RMA, you'd probably work with a case. Because the workbook knows that it works with opportunities, we can search Maximizer's opportunities directly, and we'll just look for the Ainsley wine. Here we are. Here's an opportunity. I can choose to just show my new or in progress when I'm searching. I can choose to just look at my opportunities when I'm searching. So you can make the lists very intuitive. We'll pick that one up. And now the workbook knows. In the top right hand corner here it shows us that the opportunity this workbook is linked to, this quote is linked to, is one for Wiley Kendall. So let's get the details from Maximizer. Click the Get Details button, and all of the merge fields fill in with the information from the opportunity that we were working with. And now that we've done that, the next thing we might want to do is actually put some products on our quote. So we'll have one case of this red wine and two cases of this red wine. Really doesn't matter what I pick here, it's just for example. Let's have a case of white wine to go with it, and that'll do. And then as you look at this, you'll see that the subtotals are all defined ranges in the Excel workbook, and that's so that when we update Maximizer, the integration will know where to get the figures we need back in Maximizer from. So let's do that. We'll press the Update Maximizer button, and that's written back the subtotals, it's written back the counts of how many cases we've sold. We can have a look at that in just a second. Last thing we might want to do is save a copy of the quotation. So our wine quotation, I've forgotten to do something. I haven't numbered it. One merge field that we haven't merged is the document number. Let's just number the quotation. When you number quotations, they come off a unique internet-based sequence. In this one we have the option to use document revisions enabled, and that's why I have a /0 on the end of here. This is revision 0. Documents can be renumbered, so if I want to renumber this as a new revision, then now I've got /1 as revision 1. So you can create a quote, save it onto Maximizer, reopen it from Maximizer, add a new revision, and then resave it back into Maximizer. So we got everything on here now. Let's re-update Maximizer because we changed the revision number, and then we'll save a copy of the quote onto the record. So this is a wine quotation with this reference. I've got access to all my security groups. I've got access to all my document categories. Click OK. That's now been streamed back into Maximizer. If we just have a look on Maximizer and refresh the screen here, here's my 2 cases of red wine, 1 case of white wine. All the subtotals have come in. We didn't buy any sparkling wine. I've got my quote reference. The revenue total for the opportunity has been filled in. If we look on the documents for the opportunity, here is the Excel workbook. So importing stuff into Maximizer in this way really is very, very simple to do, and you can adapt any workbook you already have. You don't even have to have a workbook set up as a template to use it. So for example, if we just close this quotation we've been working on and just start with an empty workbook, I'll choose to do some maths in this workbook, and it doesn't really matter what we've done, but we decide that we need to save it back onto Ansley Wine. So we can go and have a quick search. Here's Wiley's record. The workbook is now associated with Wiley. I can now just save a copy of that back onto Maximizer. It hasn't got a name. I'll call it my demo document. It might be a calculation. Click OK. That's now saved back onto Wiley. So click No. Just go back and have a look in the documents. If we refresh the documents, oh, I'm on the opportunity. Of course, this is not on the opportunity. So what we'll do is we'll use another little feature. Oh, I've closed it. Sorry. Let's go and look on the view on the address book. In this case, I saved the document against the address book record rather than against the opportunity, and so we actually need to search for Ansley and look in the documents, and here's my demo document. So you get the idea that you can pick up any Excel workbook you've already got. We'll show you in another session how you can add merge fields to it, and having then created it as an Excel template, you can simply generate either unnumbered or numbered versions of that, merge them with data from your record in Maximizer, update Maximizer with key items of information from the workbook, and save copies of the workbook back onto Maximizer. Thank you for watching this longer demonstration. Please do come back and watch some of our videos on how to create templates and on the individual features of the Excel integration.